Well,
Hey, better.
Hey, there we
Like,
go. We love
who wants to know
technical
what happened last time?
difficulties.
Yeah.
There's
Whew.
such it's so like universal to the streaming experience to have technical difficulties.
Like every
As
time.
someone who's streamed on Twitch so much, yeah.
You don't touch any of the settings, you don't mess with anything. You open it up and somehow it's wrong.
Yes, I changed
Yep.
nothing from last time. Not a
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
Like,
It's great. We love it.
Oh, cute. I want to just, I can't reach him.
For
I would
whatever
say who wants to
reason.
cover what happened last time, but we all know who's going to do it.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Uh-huh.
If anyone else volunteers, you're wrong. Sorry.
right.
Also,
I
for
mean, if
those of
somebody else
you,
wants to do it, I don't want to steal Molly's thunder, you know.
so for those of you who read my notes, please know that my grammar is much better in person when I'm actually trying versus just the brain.
Hey, that's okay.
Your notes are
It's
not
stream of
single
consciousness
sentence
for
bullet points that cover every
Mhm.
30 minutes at a time. You're good.
Cool. All right, so we are plunked into the mosaic. This mosaic does not have a bottom, so we will not fall and hit anything, which is good and bad news. This means we can fall forever, and the buildings we are looking for is about 600 feet away. There are giant winged spider demons coming at us pretty fast, and they will be on us at the beginning of the next round. Rena wants to wrangle one to ride, and she tries to use her whip to wrap it around the monster. She smacks one of its 8 eyes. Tanamichi uses a wind spell to airbend through the air, seeing Rena struggling, and he's going to try to use the spell to help her get on the spider. They end up rolling snake eyes, which is like a double, like what, a quadruple fail at that point?
Yeah, it was double one, so it was just like you definitely fuck it up so bad.
You're right.
Yep, and whipped right into the spider's mouth, like direct shot. So four creates a particle wall, having one of the spiders crash into the wall. We see one of the spiders smack into this thing like a bug on a windshield, and this now puts Rena in a spider's mouth on the other side of an actual physical wall. Now he is trying to throw one of his cubes into the spider's mouth, making it fly, making it a flying spider gummy cube gag. We now have a solid platform to stand on thanks to the particle walls and cubes. Four is now trying to shoot the one that's eating Rena, but does miss.
Cube gag for the win.
Kai is trying to do a 6 skydiving move to shoot the spiders with the crossbow on an attempt to avoid the crossbow bolts. The DM rolls 5 ones, so what's that, a 10 fail?
Oh,
The
it was
spider just
awful.
gets-
Oh,
I
right.
literally
We
couldn't
were
have done
all
worse.
rolling like garbage.
Even the DM.
Great.
So yeah, so that spider got absolutely wrecked.
I rolled fine. I don't know.
Molly is very excited about the new creatures that she has never seen before, and she's trying to ungag the spider. She also shoves the poison in its mouth and bound the pincher fangs together. Rena creates an Aura wind spell to control and gather everyone together. And Hoshi tries to smack one with a crossbow and it works, clips its wing and it's spiraling out of control. Now it's buzzing away like a very sad mayfly. The other remaining spider is trying to collide with Hoshi with everything it has, and the spider rolls 6 successes and deals 10 damage out of Hoshi's 11. Thank goodness that Hoshi had a 1 armor, so they only take 9 damage. Hoshi
I actually
accidentally
think
smashes
Hoshi
into
had
Rena. Huh?
I actually think Hoshi had 10.
Oh, 10? Okay,
I'm pretty sure the only
had
reason
armor.
Hoshi's alive at all is because they absorbed a single
Oh,
hit
right,
point
right, right.
damage through the armor.
Single point of armor.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yep.
So now
I had 10 health and I absorbed 1, therefore 9 got taken away.
got it. Thank you for correcting me on that. So now with the wind spells, we're able to fly wherever we go. We land near the giant Xantos building, and Kai dramatically dismounts the almost dead spider and holds the key card to show it off. Xanatos says that he's not taking visitors, but hears us mentioning business and welcomes us in. The waiting room is gorgeous, stunning. Tanamichi thinks we are walking into a trap, but better a trap than a floating forever. Holograms of ourselves pop up, and we start serving us whatever we choose. Molly asks for a chocolate cake. Hoshi asks for a glass of water. Rena requests a health elixir and a glass of wine. And 4 wants a 13 street pour and some pretzels. And Tanamichi and Kai do not take anything. Xanatos shows up and asks us what we want. Hoshi says that the relationship with the clan would be very thankful if you helped us out. After some persuasion, Hoshi signs a contract, stating that his favor will go up at least 20% with the organization. Now that a contract is signed, Xanatos is much more cheerful. He tells us that we can take the key card to the Ironworks and ask for Frank. They will say that Frank does not exist. Threaten them if you need to talk to Frank. Hoshi requests armor, and Xanatos takes a polite dig at Rena. A holograph of Rena comes up out of the ground in a maid outfit, giving Hoshi the armor, and Rena thinks, wow, I still got it. Molly asks for another chocolate cake, and 6 of them show up outside. Hoshi and Tanamichi give Molly theirs, and Hoshi out of friendship, and Tanamichi out of mistrust for the cake. Rena asks for a body mod to increase her strength, which can be done, but through surgery, she gets ripped apart, and it hurts. She basically gets to test run this new body, and she gets it permanently if she chooses to give up her Inyo forever. And that is where we left off.
Speaking of, while you obviously don't have to have made a decision yet, did you make one?
To be honest, she's considering it strongly, mostly because as this is all new to her still, she's not used to using it anyway, so she's already not using it as a crutch to get what she wants. So it's like, have the strength and continue to grow personally, or have this magic power that I still don't really understand. The only thing that she's really upset about in that regard is the fact that it's not just letting go of it forever, it's giving it to Xanatos. That's the part that she's still hung up on. If it was just, it would be gone because of results of the upgrades, whatever. It's the whole giving him extra power that she doesn't really quite like right now.
Yeah, in case that wasn't clear before, he's not cutting it out of you. He's absorbing it. He's taking it for himself.
Yeah, that would be his payment for permanently in my body.
Yeah.
Oh no. Maybe she'll try to add more things to the deal. We'll see.
Maybe. I mean, I suppose technically you both have leverage because he gave you the upgrades, which will turn themselves off. So it's not like you have to come in and say, okay, fine, take him out. It's not like that.
Exactly.
But you have the thing he wants. So technically you still have leverage. You still have space at the table. Anyway, so you're outside, you have cake. Some of you, I love how 2 of you were like, nope, I'm not eating any of that. Absolutely not.
Nope.
Get wrecked. I don't
No.
trust you for
Do
a
not
second.
trust this at all.
No.
Also, for those of you who are watching this, afterwards we had a conversation about when everybody decided that Xanatos was not a trustworthy individual. And Kai said, with his name. He's like, absolutely not. Like,
Tanamichi said the second that we stepped in the door and we're like,
he's a shifty.
And then Molly's just vibing.
I know things.
I know things.
I'm still confused. You poisoned the spider.
It's like, absolutely not. The guy's name, I was like, that's profiling. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily good, but it is
imagine
a
if I
tool.
just thought every mic
Mhm.
was just a waste of space. Like, that's not fair. Like,
No, in this case,
Because-
it would be you're concerned every mic is going to blow you up in game.
that,
Mhm,
nope,
mhm.
just the one. Like, I game with other mics. They're much less
No, that would be the
dangerous.
profiling would be that you would
Mhm.
assume
Yeah, right,
any
right.
other means.
Yeah.
Hoshi did step aside and make a private call, which I did talk to you about afterwards.
You bet.
So
I want to know how that works. Kai legitimately wants to know how you have an interdimensional cell phone, and I will confront you about it.
Yeah, how does that go down? Hoshi looks at you and goes, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, they're holding the phone. Like, what? No, they can just
well, no,
gaslight you
I
and
would say it's less of a phone call and more of a phone call.
Right,
and
right.
then- Like, kind of looks like she's just like mumbling to herself, and then we'll come back.
Mimble, mumble.
Yeah,
Mumble, mimble. So where to from
Waterworks.
here? Here you are standing on the
Wow.
platform outside of Xanatos' building.
I think we got to find Frank.
Yeah, I mean, how do
And
you leave
potentially
Xanatos'
beat 'em up.
dimension?
We're not in the right place for the.
How do we?
Right,
Yeah.
how do you get off this platform back through the mosaic to the place you actually want to go?
Well,
Technically, we're in business with Xanatos. Can we ask him to help transport us?
I was actually going to suggest something to that effect.
Yeah.
It would greatly improve our relationship with him if we were missing. He doesn't want us here.
Oh,
Oh,
So
I also
thought you
took that a
meant
little
it would
weird.
improve
I
our
thought you meant
relationship
like
if we
missing,
died
like-
and went
No,
missing
no.
forever.
No, but
missing like short
I,
walk up a long pier. You know what
there's
I mean?
there's a additional information I'm hoping to gather from that interaction. However, so let's see how that works out. We probably should like kind of knock on the door and like, hey, y'all have a Tory gate hanging around in your basement?
Just like what happens before, the Xanatos hard light construct will pop out of the receiver on the side of the building and go, oh, right, my apologies. I forget sometimes that other people aren't me. Yeah, sure, fine. And a door will open on the side. He goes, step inside, it'll bring you upstairs. There are various gates, take your pick. And there's a
Take
Pop
a
it, but
deep
she
breath,
doesn't.
square her shoulders, and just and step through.
you
I
bet.
I am incredibly curious about this now for a number of reasons.
I thought you might be.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. It's what I suspected.
I thought you might be. So, for the rest of you, Heather is not the only person who had a conversation about the table away from the table. Like, but what Mike and I talked about is really none of your business unless he decides to bring it up. So,
Oh, I
Well-
fully intend. I fully intend to bring it up as soon as there aren't any listening ears.
I see.
Mhm.
I mean,
Um,
technically, all of us are listening ears.
It's not nice of
True.
you
No,
to
I
refer to
know
our
once-
audience like that.
Secrets are
They are
Yeah.
here to
Secrets hurt
love and enjoy and laugh, and for
Yeah.
you to say that you're
Mhm,
not going
mhm.
to talk about this in front of them, I feel like it's very. No, I'm kidding.
I don't want Xanatos listening to our conversation.
Cool, bad.
It's
So-
privilege.
And what you think he's not usually.
yeah, right.
Ah.
We
I
didn't,
mean,
couple of
with
he didn't know we
whatever
existed until like 10
whatever
minutes ago.
Rena has in her body might like.
I was wondering who was going to say something.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have his walking advertisement coming with us.
Yeah,
Right, right.
yeah.
That's what you call spyware.
That might be a little harder
right.
at this point.
A couple mechanics that you should be aware of if what you're looking to have
I were in a
is
spy. Go figure.
right. If you're looking to have private conversations away from Xanatos, these don't matter. If you're looking to have them away from everyone except yourselves, including your handlers, they matter. The receiver, the one that lets you understand all written or spoken languages, also allows an agent to hear the projected thoughts of any member of their strike team, and allows your handlers to hear what you hear. With your tattoos, the projector and the recorder work the same way. Anything you record, your handlers know you recorded. Anything you thought, they know you thought. Anything you said, they know you said. Just
But autonomy really doesn't exist once you're part of this organization. Got it.
not really,
No.
no. You're
No.
free to do
Mm-mm.
what you like, but they'll know
Hence,
the actions
might as
you
well get the body
made,
modifications.
and they'll arguably know the motivations that drove you to do them. How far the mind scan goes is not clear in the book, and I'm not going to clarify it for you. But know
Cool,
that
cool,
you're
cool.
not unobserved to what I might consider an absolute measure at any point, outside of your handlers, anyway. So, with that in mind, everybody gets in the lift. Yes,
Uh-huh.
you bet.
Yep.
I do.
Yep.
A hard light prism carries you up into a top floor where there is a dozen Torii gates and 2 giant statues of Xanatos. Because what's an egotistical narcissist without statues of himself?
Yeah, I was just
Not an
thinking that. I was just
egotistical
like,
narcissist.
Yeah, right. You're phoning it in at that point.
uh-huh.
Rena wants to
Are you-
jump up and give them unibrows.
Yeah. I mean,
My
I,
handlers get a very nice view of the entire room as I roll my eyes.
yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Hoshi just immediately is scanning for the one we need.
You bet. Where is it that you're going?
The warehouse in Steel Court, right?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
as close to the brickworks as
Yes.
possible.
You bet.
Yeah.
The steel, it's probably worth pointing out because your characters might not know this, and I don't know if you do either. There are only 4 on the books anyway, only 4 discovered, clarified worlds.
Mm-hmm.
There are 12 gates in this room. So that either means that there are multiple gates per space, or Xanatos just is connected to more spaces.
I'm gonna take
Something-
a slow look around the room kind of try to like
Mhm.
take in as much,
You bet.
especially if
Something-
any of them are
Right.
labeled.
Oh yeah, something your characters absolutely would know. The Torii Gates are built by the Shadow Scar organization. These are not Xanatos' tech. The thing you did when you got ripped through the portal and sent here is not the way people usually do it. It's dangerous, as you've seen. A Torii Gate is the nice, safe, subtle, stable way to do it. Like
Mhm.
ordinary humans can walk through a Torii Gate and nothing happens. You have to be a part of the organization, which means you can scatter Torii Gates all over Japan and beyond, and nobody's going to think it's weird. Maybe, depending on where they are, maybe cultural appropriation, but not like
Yeah.
a magical object of concern. It's just a pretty gate.
Mhm.
Only 5 of them are marked. The 4 other dimensions and the one you came from.
Okay. No, but sorry, my cat's trying to eat my yarn.
So
Oh, no.
if you're looking to go to the steel court, there's a big SC carved in what looks like somebody gouged the side of the gate and poured molten metal into it.
Oh,
So they're hard to miss. There's a big shiny silver SC blazoned on the side of the gate. Aside from that, it's not like a portal or anything. You just, because you're part of the organization, you just step over the threshold and you'll be in the steel
Mhm.
court.
Wow, that worked
Uh,
a lot better than how we got here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as soon as we're on the other side of the gate, we're gonna have a conversation about that.
Yeah, Hoshi's
Mhm.
looking at it and has like as much of a stoic face as she can, with just the slightest little like one-sided grimace and like a little bit of eyes narrowing at it because she's like, really? This is how we could. Mm-hmm.
Yep, totally
Mhm.
normal. That is the
Mhm.
normal way.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
like you could walk to the nearby town, or you could like take a car like a normal person. Right.
I
I
mean,
prefer to think of it as walking through a door versus being pushed off of a cliff.
Sure.
Or
yes.
or you know,
Yeah.
shot with an air cannon versus like
Yeah.
getting a ride.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ordering an Uber.
Right.
Yeah.
Rena
Yeah,
enjoyed
right.
the way we showed
Mhm.
up. Rena enjoyed the way we showed up. I mean, they had to test us somehow to see if we would survive.
Yeah. Trial by
I'm sure you found the part where
too emotionally forgiving and not in a trusting way, just in a, of course, this would have to, they didn't have to be assholes like that, actually.
you
No,
were in
but
a
they were anyway.
spider's
So I'm not
mouth.
Yes, you
Yeah.
were going to be food.
That's true. You were going to be food. You were mere moments away from being breakfast. Like
And
In in the mouth, in between
Mhm.
between
right, not
the
on the mouth,
mandibles.
not near the mouth. You were on the business side of the mandibles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
less than an
Like-
hour ago.
And
Yeah.
Less than an hour ago.
that wasn't the most traumatic or scariest thing that's ever happened to her. So she's fine.
I'm not sure that's the most unusual thing I've done to one of your characters. To be fair.
I mean-
Like, that's fine.
In the interest of fairness, the Shadow Scar organization does, as a point of policy, kill you as part of training.
Well, yeah, you have been reanimated once before. Yeah,
Mhm.
it comes with the job. I like,
Yeah.
like,
Also, does she need to roll anything to put those mustaches on the statues?
no, they're statues. They're not moving.
Okay, I just
Um,
didn't athletics or anything like that. Now that I have it,
And before we leave the room, on the note of you were on the business end of the mandibles, I take the moment to just ponder. Hey, did any one of us remember to pack a lantern?
I thought one of you did. No?
Not a one.
Hold on.
No, but I can see in the dark.
I can also see
Oh, not
Not
that
what I
kind of
meant.
lantern.
Not what I meant.
Oh.
Oh,
No.
The
Not that
spirit
kind.
lantern, the one that keeps your soul alive when you
Oh.
die.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Got
Yeah,
it.
not the I can see kind of lantern.
Yeah.
The I can sustain kind of lantern.
Yeah, so
Mhm,
because
mhm.
if the answer to this is no, that means we are basically walking this tightrope without a net.
Oh yeah.
I did not see that in the
I didn't see that as an option.
yeah.
Isn't that something we have?
Hold on.
Oh,
please
lantern
hold.
flash. No, that's not that.
The soul lantern wasn't part of the supply drop.
Interesting.
no, it
Where
wasn't.
did you find that?
I don't
Oh,
think it's
it's in
a
the book.
requisite.
In the pre-gen
In the
characters all have it as part of their inventory. So
Oh.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
here on the back of the armory. Artifacts, Spirit Lantern, Susanu's Brew. The Spirit Lantern. The small stone lantern can contain a single wandering spirit indefinitely. A character holding the spirit lantern can look through the lantern's opening to see into the spirit world beyond, and can take an action to open the lantern and place a wandering spirit in it. So it costs 3 points. The spirit lantern does two things. If one of you ends up dead and your soul wanders the material plane, the idea is you capture the spirit like a Ghostbuster in the lantern before it leaves the material plane off to places unknown. And it allows you to see into the spirit world wherever you are.
Oh,
You would look through it like glasses to
Where
see the
was
spirit
that,
world
though?
as
I
they are
did not
present in the
find
storm.
that.
yeah. That page isn't on the armory.
No,
I think
Drive.
there's two separate handouts have two
There
separate
are.
sets of supplies.
there are two separate
Oh, okay.
handouts. There's
Let's
the
see.
supply drop and the armory.
Line drop is the only
I
thing I looked
I
at.
would have think that if the DM allows, at least one of us would have had that as part of like our package deal for going on a mission.
Yeah, I'm cool with
At
that.
least one.
It's your first mission, so I don't see why your two handlers wouldn't have given you two with a sort of snide, maybe you need these, maybe you won't kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
Think of them like condescending training wheels. Here you go.
I think
Yeah.
Molly would be a good one to have it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, knowing Molly, she would
Mhm.
probably like make sure she had it before she
Right,
left.
right. A spirit
Yeah.
lantern is a fairly durable thing. They have the same durability as like a lantern you'd put a candle into that's made out of metal. They're fairly tough objects. And much like a metal lantern with a glass inlay, if you break the inlay, you didn't shatter the lantern from functioning. It's just with a candle more likely to go out. But this isn't like that. This is one of those things where it's like there's a hatch on the front, you swing it open. Anyway, so you
And
step
then
through this gate. Go ahead.
whoever
Sorry.
else wants to, and then whoever else
Mm.
wants to have the second one. I just
Oh,
know that
right.
it made sense for Molly to have one for sure.
Mhm.
If not, also Hoshi, since they're the new head of whatever now, they might not want them to die just yet completely.
New head of
Yeah.
I'm no head of nothing. I don't know. I mean, I will
You-
take the spirit
you-
lantern.
You
Well-
are the liaison to your
Mhm.
family's.
I'm a liaison to a thing. I'm not head of nothing. Mm-mm. Don't put that on me. Fuck that.
As
you
you
suggest that to her, she will be offended. Legit.
I mean, give it time. This is a tabletop role playing game, and you're a player character. Trauma is inbound.
I don't know
you
what
know.
you're talking
Mhm,
about. I don't
mhm.
know why Jay would ever do that to us. He's so
Never.
kind and loving and does not ever, ever, ever cause any emotional, physical, mental, or relational
Spiritual
damage to
stress.
our characters ever
Yeah.
in their entire existence.
Not-
Certainly
not-
wouldn't
not
kill your
in a-
parents.
See
Yeah,
what you
not
just
an entire
described
campaign
was boredom,
where-
and I try not to do
Yeah.
boredom.
not an entire campaign where my character's brother came back and died like 3 times.
I don't know what that is not
Mhm.
how
And
I
was the
remember
big
it.
bad.
How I remember
Make
it.
it where I
Or
took a
not.
great shot and then accidentally killed 2 of our allies because I didn't know they were around the corner. Totally not.
Look,
You
that's not
never
how
do-
I remember
You would
it. What I
never
remember,
cause trauma to the characters. I don't know
No.
who is spreading these lies.
what I remember is Mala taking down a big scary motherfucker all by herself. That's what I remember.
She
Mhm.
sure did, and then had a
Yep.
conscience afterwards and didn't like that, actually.
Mhm.
Bummer,
Um,
right? Like,
Yeah.
heavy is the head. and all that.
Anyway,
With great power,
Anyway,
yada yada.
We're
Good
yada,
stepping
night.
into
right?
Steel Fort or Steel Court.
Right, right.
whatever
You
the
step through
fuck
the Torii Gate
place.
and spill out into a place that looks an awful lot like, but is both culturally and legally distinct from Shibuya Crossing in Japan, which is to say there's like 3,000 people on a giant pedestrian crosswalk, but they're not moving at all. There's a little tiny layer of what looks like yellow mist that rolls down over the tops of their feet. That is clearly pouring out of a building on the other end of the crossing. The crossing is about, I don't know, 200 feet, give or take. Nobody's moving. They're breathing, barely, but they're not moving.
Is there anything nearby that Hoshi could potentially use her whip to attach to and get off the ground immediately?
Sure, yeah, good. You are in a bustling urban place. There's street signs and billboards, and outside the crossing, you can hear the movement and the noise of the
Yeah.
city. So yeah,
I just
uh,
don't want to
uh,
be in said mist at all.
At all.
Gearbox guy, you got more of those dancing cubes?
Uh,
Are the cubes big enough for you to stand on?
yeah, they're
Fairly big, weren't they?
10
Yeah.
feet.
five cubic feet in area.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So yes, would you
Give me-
make an athletics check to dart, use the whip to lash onto something to pull yourself up out of the dust? Say a
Yeah.
nearby roadside.
I put my dice away. Hold on.
Smart move. Good plan.
Smooth,
Ah.
smooth.
I haven't played any game since. I'm not including the Monday one where I DM. I have not played any game since this game last week.
Oh,
Sad.
I know.
It's been
So
very
sad.
sad.
So I usually have tables all day yesterday, and this week I had none. A cancellation on Mondays is fairly common during this part of the year, but all three was unusual. So I'm like itching to roll dice. Itchy.
yeah.
Okay,
Oh, no.
Maybe
so
I have
I'm
a
rolling a
problem.
which one?
You're making an athletics roll to get off the ground before it's too late.
let's hope it goes better this time.
Yeah.
No, my
Yeah.
athletics have been fine. I've been doing fine.
Yeah.
I just got fucked by a fucking spider thing
Yeah.
Yeah, it just attacked you
that
out
hard
of nowhere
launched
for-
against me in the middle of space.
And crumpled like a paper bag.
It
Mhm.
sure did.
With
And you
the
also
time,
crumpled like a paper
I
bag.
stayed up.
That's true. Like,
with
like
the time that we were with Xanatos and
Mhm.
recovering from the spider, would we have gained any key reserve back?
key reserve, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Health, no.
Okay.
Okay.
How
Is
many
it?
successes do I need?
You need 2 total.
Sure, that's
That's
a
not a
five.
high
That's-
bar.
No, but
that's not a good face.
It's a 5 and 2 2s. So
Oh.
Oh.
So you do throw the whip, lash onto the signpost, and pull yourself up. And as you whip up on top of the lamppost, you watch the yellow mist calcify up your ankles. You still move, but you move real slow. Until you get rid of that, you'll find that you lose a die for pretty much anything in your underneath your body
Oh.
stat.
Rena sees this happen. She kind of rolls her eyes a little bit and then starts activating Aura of Wind again for people to kind of
Mm.
surround her, because it says airborne effects such as harmful fumes cannot enter this aura.
Excellent.
So she's just gonna be
Okay.
like, really? We just saw me use this.
yes,
Mhm.
and I'm still acting off of instinct.
Um,
and
Molly-
that is a handy trick, and I very much enjoy it.
Like, so
Molly,
she's gonna use
now
one of
I
her
don't
key
know what the
points.
rest of you are gonna do for your turn.
Molly,
Like-
what?
Molly is pretty good with different types of poisons.
Uh-huh.
Is there a way she can roll to try to identify what poison this is?
Absolutely. What skill do you think would be appropriate?
Identify poison.
I would say
My
medicine or-
suggestions are medicine or knowledge. But
I'm gonna do medicine
Sure.
if that's okay.
yeah, fine by me.
Um, so I'm rolling 5 dice for that.
But we have a healer in the
Tom
party. so-
Amici's got the wind barrage
Uh-huh.
and surrounding his body also with 10 feet. So he can he doesn't take up space in that spot where Rena's at in
Oh,
case
nice.
other people need to like
So-
get
so we
in,
can-
because he
we
can
can-
kind of
We can split up and travel with each of you.
Yeah,
Mhm,
you can
So
pick,
it's-
pick your favorite person to cozy up to.
Right.
mhm, mhm.
Like a Persona game. You pick the one you like.
Yeah.
You'll never see it coming.
I'm saying this as a joke, but again, Hoshi picked a lamppost.
It's not that the rest of you are lame, it's that the lamppost is that cool.
It's
Right.
just
Mhm,
it's one of
mhm.
it's like the
metal.
older brother of the one in Narnia. It like had extra arms and it just
Ooh.
looks so fancy. And
Right, like it's not you, it's the lamppost.
you're not as cool as that lamppost. I'm sorry.
Do you subscribe to Lamppost Weekly?
You know, I do. Like
I don't know
Billboard's
why you would
Quarterly,
doubt Jay like that. Of
Right. Like
course he does.
It comes in with my
I
Gentleman's
got
Quarterly every quarter, you know.
for my roll, I got a 1, a 6, 2, 2, and a 4.
How
So
many
I
successes does that
failed
leave you with?
that then.
What now?
Because the 1 and 6 cancel, and then 2, 2, 4.
So it's
Rough.
just 4.
Rough. Once upon a time, I did get ferrets weekly for a while. So, story for another time.
I would have been less surprised if you got lamppost.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Never owned a ferret.
They're cute.
That
They
makes
are
it
cute.
weirder.
That I know. That's why I saw. Yeah, I know. Like,
You've owned a lamppost?
yes, yes. By which I mean,
He leases it out. Don't worry.
Yeah, at this point, it's sort of a well-loved lamppost.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's some worn grooves on it. Like it's maybe I've had to change
Jay.
the bulbs out. You know what I'm saying? Like
Jay.
what?
No,
I'm sorry. You wanted a normal game? What
Right.
are you? Why
Play
would
with the
you?
wrong
I
person.
just last game we went deep into the horny double entendres, and I'm just trying to pull us back
You
from the
can't
can't
brink.
into
start
the
that with
actual-
deep.
Right, that's your fault. Look what you've done.
There, we were having true
And he's gone.
innocent fun about making fun of him having a magazine for
lamppost.
ferrets.
Mhm.
You're the one that took it anywhere that direction.
That is because Kai over here has a secret lamppost fetish. No judgment, just a statement. Like, no shade. Like,
Bad.
yeah,
That
it
was
was bad.
bad.
It was very
was
bad.
bad.
I'm sorry. They can't all be
that
winners.
was
I
some
don't have a
low-hanging
writing
fruit right
team.
there.
That was a
Okay.
bright idea.
Lampposts also don't have
Hey!
lampshades, so
Hey,
it was
mine
doubly
do.
bad.
They're fashionable. Thank you very much.
Anyway,
Anyway.
so Hoshi failed to get up.
Molly
failed.
failed to.
Molly doesn't know what the heck this thing is.
Yep, no, we're doing great.
We're doing
Yeah.
great so
Rena's
far.
walking
We're having a
up
good
to
You
time.
Hoshi.
failed to understand it, but you still did the wind maneuver, right? So, while
Right.
you don't know what it
Mhm.
is, nobody's being affected by it except Hoshi.
Yeah, she's
Mhm.
Rena is walking up to Hoshi to try to get it dispelled, like away from her, to be like,
Will
"It's-
your wind ability remove it from other people once infected?
probably not the infected part, but at least she won't get any further infected.
It won't get any worse.
Yes.
It's a good call
So
because it was moving.
fumes cannot enter this area. So if the fumes have already affected her skin, I don't know how that would work. But yeah, Hoshi, you need some help there? I mean, come on, you can drop down now.
Looks at her foot. I don't know that I want to, unless this is off, because I don't think I can land correctly.
I'm sure I can catch you.
Off as in your foot?
Off of my foot.
Oh, okay. That would make the distinction.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, I gotta test out this new strength somehow, so I might as well let me give a chance. Come on,
mhm.
come here, let me catch you.
Leap,
Well, very,
and the net shall
very,
appear.
very hesitantly and
Or you can just slide down the pole. I mean, you're already up there.
let's-
You
Whoa.
just
with
slide
with,
down.
with
Mm.
emotional resistance, we'll just like she'll come down. It's not like having to trust. Did not enjoy that. That was not. Mm-mm.
Mhm.
Well, first part of making a great team is trust, and this is a great trust fall
Right.
into.
Yeah.
Rena, would you make a check to catch the? I'm sure lovely Hoshi with their like scaly calcified feetsies.
I have a whole picture right
Mhm.
here.
So what do I
Correct.
need to do? Athletics or strength?
Oh, you're not. Are you gonna parkour roll and then catch?
Parkour.
Well,
What role
strength.
is Rena having
If
to
you're
make?
just gonna stand there and go like Superman or Wonder Woman, whatever, they're both
Yes.
badass.
Mhm.
It's just strength.
Okay.
But if you're gonna do like a little fancy pirouette roll maneuver like an action hero, now you're thinking athletics. Like in the Daredevil show where they do a bunch of flips for no reason, just like
Mhm.
Hey, if you know
Mm.
how to, you find every excuse you can to do them.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love that show, but there
Fair.
was dozens of times where Matt just
The new
flips,
one
and I
just
was
came
like,
out today.
so I hear.
I
I haven't
rolled
watched it yet. I need to.
a 5
Hey.
Oh,
and
And?
2 1s.
Oh
Mhm.
no.
Oh my
God.
I
Guys,
get
we
trust
have
right
to
here.
roll better.
So you go like this, and Hoshi lands 3 feet to the left and smashes one of their feet into powder.
Ah.
I didn't know
The
my wind was going to
powder?
carry you
No,
away.
Wait.
The
whoa.
entire foot.
Back up. What?
You heard me. Smash the whole feet, one of the whole feet into powder, all the way up to the ankle. You just don't have it.
I joked about the foot coming off. I did not think it would actually happen this soon.
Oh.
I'm sure we can get
We need to get
Xanatos
out
to
of
give you a
this
new foot.
right
It's
now.
fine. As I walk up to her and try to help Karen pick her
Oh,
up.
She's
she
having
does
a
not
bad
let
day.
you touch her.
I didn't know the wind was going to take you away from me.
You stay away from me.
That was
Uh,
not intentional.
Rena, do
Ne-
you have how many successes did you end up with?
Negative.
One.
That's what
Well,
I thought.
negative, yeah.
So you can't use the power of fate to get the success you need to save your friend, can you?
No.
Because you don't
No,
have,
because
it's not enough.
Yeah,
you only get
yeah.
one.
And
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
used it already earlier, unless
Yeah.
she got it back at one point.
Nope. Not
Yeah,
until fate
so-
kicks you in the pants.
No. Can Hoshi have done something when she dropped to try and offset the foot crashing into the ground?
I'm all for you making your jumping. So I'm all for you making an athletics roll. Yeah, sure.
I will gladly do that
Don't forget to shave
and
off that
have
one
this
die.
horrible just feeling that if she fails this, she will be footless on a particular
A
leg.
foot. Right.
All right.
Loose.
Okay. That was 2 5s and a 2.
Hey.
Sweet. Is that down one of your regular dice?
No, then that is 2 5s.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just drop the low one.
right.
It was 2 5s and a 2. Like that was the
It's like D6.
That was the order.
Like D&D stats.
I know we're
Mhm.
not on a break yet, but I'm going to have to go away from this screen real quick. So I'll be
Sounds
back.
good. I was good. Because
Okay.
hey, break's good now. I'll see everybody in 15.
Oh, sounds good.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Break time.
Oh man, yeah, no, Hoshi had this horrible nightmare just for a moment of
Mhm.
completely having a foot disintegrate.
Ah.
So
Okay.
Tanamichi and I are just gonna be standing off to the side, just watching this whole
Yeah. Just like.
festival of errors going.
Yeah, I don't think Hoshi's gonna be chilling with Rena.
Nah.
Mm-mm.
So
I'll catch you. Nah, you nope.
So for the two of you guys, the whole topic
And the
of,
audience, because we're still
yeah.
live.
oh, we are.
It
Yeah.
records through like it. He doesn't stop the recording for the break. Yeah.
That's interesting.
So
Anyway,
that
so
is up to you.
for you guys and for the thing that I'm concerned about is that whole rift diving thing. We absolutely should not have been doing that, like, at all.
Oh no.
That's It, not just that that's dangerous in that if we had looked deeply into the mosaic at any point during our dive, we would have been blind for a day. But also,
They have fucking better ways to do it than that.
well, no, it's not just that. It's that they only have better ways to do it than that. The only people who teach the method they used of ripping a hole in reality is the bad guys of this whole game.
Are we the bad guy?
No, we're being used by them.
Oh,
Probably.
Yeah. Probably.
So basically it's taught by a sect of shinobis, shinobi, I guess, like people who left the Shadow Scar Agency and fled away from it, like self-banished ninjas who didn't want to be killed. And like it's the Hollow Eye Syndicate.
Yeah.
And the Hollow Eye Syndicate is like basically a criminal organization. And they only teach that whole rift diving technique because they don't have access to the Torii gates. They should not, our handlers should not have been using that technique because it is old and outdated and not nearly as safe. So for whatever reason, they don't want the people in charge of their own organization or the organization they supposedly work for to know what we're doing.
is that why they sent a bunch of throwaways?
Where they said a bunch of first
Amateurs.
time
Yeah.
on their first mission. Wee bubbies.
Yeah.
Mhm,
The only
mhm.
question is like why send us after Xanatos and his
Well, they weren't sending us after Xanatos. They just happened to give us a key card, and we decided to go to
For
him.
Xanatos, yeah.
right?
They didn't say, they just said fix it. Didn't really give us much other context for the specific problem until we pushed about it. Didn't really give us why they gave us a thing to
Yep.
Xanatos.
They said it might be helpful, is what they said. Like they said in case we needed anything.
Like, but they didn't say go to Xanatos for information or things or stuff. Like, yeah.
I'm also very interested in the teeth key, the talking.
Yeah,
teeth.
no, that
Yes.
thing's still talking to Tadamichi, which he hasn't addressed yet.
Yeah, and I do think keeping that to yourself and not letting Xanatos know about that was probably the wisest move.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
He's
And
not
I'm-
saying shit about that to anybody after
I'm-
it said,
I'm
why did you try to give me away?
I'm genuinely shocked that Xanatos didn't charge a fee for us to use the gate. That was something I was genuinely expecting him to force us to trade for, but
He might have, and we just don't know.
Oh, yeah, it could be a thing later on. Like, oh, I sent you here, now you owe me, but it was unspoken.
I
Or he's just gonna
Hoshi-
charge
Hoshi
it to
absolutely
Hoshi.
did not have a
Mhm.
lawyer read over her contract. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yep. That was the most terrifying thing.
that is the
Yeah.
most reckless thing I think I have ever done in a TTRPG game.
Mhm.
I've been playing since I was 7.
Oh.
Is this clearly not good aligned character hands me a contract with unspecified terms beyond a general number, but is holding me personally accountable for it. And she didn't stop, read it, question, just went ahead and signed it and went about her business.
He could be true neutral or
I didn't say he wasn't. I said not good aligned. Like I question all the things, and I'm the one that's like, no. Why are we signing nothing? Come here. Hoshi, bam, done.
I want to be perfectly candid with you. So the reason I learned that information and I went back to the book is specifically because your decision to sign that contract so impulsively has basically scared Kai so much about what you're doing on the side that I started looking for my own approach, and I was going to approach the Hollow Eye Syndicate as a backdoor, as a means of countering your potential betrayal.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
You think that's gonna work?
So
I
I don't know.
Ever need to have a backup plan for me ever in your life? No.
Oh,
Hi, Jack.
Howdy doody.
I pulled out one of my earpieces, and I cannot of the
Ouch.
headset that was having issues, and I cannot get it back in. How do you clip in your headphone?
I don't. You have dismantled me, and I will never become one with my true self.
But it's my favorite bear. No.
Well, don't mistreat it. I'm kidding.
Get a pair of these. I love these things.
What are they? Nope. Don't tempt me. I have no self-control when it comes to headsets. The last 3 times someone
If
said,
it makes you
hey.
feel better, it's not a headset. There's no microphone in these things.
Oh, headphones. Sorry.
Well, they are technically different things. I didn't know if that would help you not buy one.
No.
Oh, I see.
I have only one that has a microphone in it.
I see.
Oh, it just clips into place. I'm bad.
I feel that so hard though.
Well, so this pair has a bunch of clips, this one doesn't have clips. This one has, you have to wrap around the plastic on it. And then this pair has a bunch of clips to go inside of it. and my Sony's
It's a
over
It's a
there
headless Nova.
also
No,
has a
this one. There we go.
kind of clip, but it's different than the other ones. And my favorite thing about all the containers is they all have carabiners, and it's amazing. I will never use them, but they are cool.
Nova, the white part of you just keeps going out of.
These
So
are
don't-
Bear Dynamic
It's
770
one with the
250s.
background.
I love these things.
Oh no, her nose. Ah, what's happening?
I often wear these for 8-10 hours a day, and I forget they're on my head. They're super comfortable.
Could never be me
What's that?
with any headset ever.
Ah,
Oh.
Yeah.
This pair is a pair of like open back Sennheisers. They go with my
my brand, yeah.
they go with my amp and DAC. It's the
Nice.
only one that has the aux jack for it. And they're the ones that if I look slightly to my left, I can no longer hear out of my right ear.
Oh,
It's starting at this call today and not anything I was doing before this. So I don't know what the hell I
uh-oh.
did.
I
So
can't
I was
do
very
open
confused
back.
why I
Go ahead.
kept getting responses from people today being like, "Oh yeah, no, and this weather's so off and so bad or whatever." And I'm looking outside, I'm like, "It was a little rainy. What you mean?" Like, okay, and it's a little rainy. I had a bit of a migraine earlier. It's okay. Like we're whatever. There's supposed to be a blizzard starting at 11 p.m. tonight, so that would be
Oh,
why
fun.
everyone's.
Yeah, we're
Freaking
actively in our blizzard right now.
Yay.
I think we're supposed to
So-
get like an inch of snow an hour right now.
God, I hope
God.
that's
So
not.
I didn't end up meeting with clients today. And if there's a blizzard, it means all of my stuff tomorrow will probably be Zoom calls.
Storage
You
to get
get paid
access to
way less
PDF.
for.
Yep. Yeah, it
Awesome.
it had those two extra things that were not on the other PDF.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's the only thing that was missing, and I cannot find the one that was in the Google Drive for it.
Super weird.
Huh.
No worries. That's why I brought it up, because I was genuinely concerned that we go into this
Didn't
situation
have
like,
any.
oh hey, have no means of reviving ourselves in
Mhm.
Kiln.
Mm-hmm.
I
Like
found
any
myself in
else.
a weird place as far as the headphones because the computer, I use it for stuff like this, but also a fair amount of high-end audio listening.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a dedicated sound card that's nice and a 5.1 sound setup, and I care about what file format my audio is in and all that nonsense. But it's also the community machine. Amber and I watch TV on it every night. So and when I'm doing this, I don't want it leaking out all over the room. So I wanted a high quality headphone that was closed back, which narrows the options down quite a bit. It was a pain in the ass. But I have to say the Bear Dynamic 770 250s are pretty great.
Not sponsored.
Not at all. None. They
Nope.
don't know who I am. They just make a really nice headphone. Also, all
Now,
of their
if they
parts.
ever want to, I will attempt to
Oh.
use headphones.
Like,
I
they're
don't really
they're
make
super
me
soft.
change my mind.
They're super soft. I love these things. All of the individual parts are replaceable and not just through them. So if you want like if you break something, all of the individual parts are labeled. They have little serial numbers and you can buy them from somebody who isn't Bear Dynamic. So there's that like you're not forced to pay whatever they want you to pay nonsense,
Right.
which I really appreciate. Like there's
And
no reason not to be a Bear Dynamic fan. They're a great company and they make a great product. I so rarely get to say both of those things at the same time.
I have
Like-
shits.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's the shit amp and DAC, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
beginner ones.
Wait, the brand, what is it spelled, like SCHITT?
Two I's in the T. Yeah.
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 I know what he meant.
Nice.
Yeah.
I
It's-
have a
they're the
Soundblaster
shits.
A7 in here that has a
Wait.
DAC and a amp in it, so I didn't buy a separate one.
So-
But
So my introduction to what a Wii was every Monday, our math instructor would ask us, what we did over the weekend. We would do like one sentence
I
Down
love where this is
whole
going.
classroom. And one of my classmates, I was in middle school, which makes this worse. One of my
Yeah, it
classmates
does.
was like, I was playing with my Wii all weekend.
Yeah.
And only like two other people in the class had even heard of it, and neither of them had one or had played with one. And so this poor kid was like trying to genuinely explain that this is like a gaming console that has
And he
all these
wasn't
games,
doing
you know,
something.
is all this stuff.
Yeah,
And
because
the
they went straight from GameCube to Wii.
and all of the very kind middle school boys with complete mature mental
Horse
faculties and
caca.
emotional
Like,
responses totally
what?
did not rip this child apart for saying that he played with his Wii all weekend.
But I would consider myself a reasonably intelligent, reasonably mature.
It's different
man.
to like, haha,
But-
oh, that's what you
Like-
mean, and more to like that became a thing against him for the rest of the year.
Of
yeah,
course.
it deserves
It was
it.
You
bad.
said middle school,
I'm-
yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm shocked
Mhm.
it didn't last longer, to be quite
Right.
honest.
I don't know if it lasted longer or not. That was the only class I had with that kid.
The me
But that was my
today-
introduction to a Wii. So
Right, yeah.
it is burned into my brain forever.
Wee.
Oh, we.
Oh,
Now look what you've done. Like,
brainworms.
that's a good
Listen.
time.
Speaking of
My
brainworms,
profile. You see,
what
you
the
see
fuck is
picture.
this yellow mist?
Yeah.
Yes, and
Uh,
did she save her foot?
I don't know. How many successes did you get?
I got 2 out of 3 dice successes.
Oh, that's right. And they were both 5s, right?
Mhm.
So while Rena absolutely fudges it, and they go on, trust me. And the only reason you don't eat shit and lose your foot is because you do a little parkour roll of your own, and then look at them like, why did I have to do that?
Yeah,
Mhm.
literally.
Oh,
And then if
I
you
get-
try it, she'll still do that. No.
Okay, so now is the foot still kind of calcified?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so if she
It
bangs it off something, it will still turn to dust.
I mean, I wouldn't like
Hit it with a hammer.
Don't
tougher
kick
than
like
an egg, but I wouldn't go
Yeah.
kicking anything. Like,
Um.
bump a doorstop, no big deal. Kick
Mm-hmm.
someone, you're gonna pay for that.
Yeah.
yeah.
with the foot.
It's gonna stand up and just hobble. This has been a day.
So your ankle
like
does
2
bend
hours in.
still. It's just really stiff.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Like you just had a bad fall.
Yep.
And she's
Yep.
gonna just
Mhm.
walk over and stand next to Tanamichi and just
I feel bad. First, Rena tries to put the moves on a guy. Well, first you put the moves on a guy and it worked. Then you put the moves on a guy and it didn't work. And then you were like, "Trust me." And then they're like, "Snub." Rena's just not doing well right now.
Becky, I love you. This is separate from you. This is for your character. I don't care what day Rena's been having.
You're right. Why would you? Right.
Uh-huh.
In the interest of fairness, Rena is not the only person in this party who has taken damage. That is Hoshi.
Rena
who's
didn't
done-
take damage.
That's
I
what
didn't.
I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You took you almost died.
I
And now
I
you're the
almost
only one
died.
affected.
My foot almost disintegrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All because
Hosie's
of
not having a fun day.
I don't want to be here in the first place. Like this is
Mhm,
not.
mhm.
And Kai genuinely wants to talk to you more about that. About it just the general lack of like, hey,
Figure out how to decalcify my foot, and Hoshi might be open to a heart to
mhm.
conversation later.
about
Doggo.
that. I
Well,
have a way to do that, but I don't know.
we should try to get
So-
out of this mist before
I was
any
just
of
gonna
us.
say, where to from
Any
here? You are
else?
safe from the mist, but where
As
to
long
from
as
here?
get across the street
Uh-huh.
to where this
My
is
thing
coming.
only lasts 10 minutes, so we have to go.
Yeah, let's get out. Yeah.
Are we able to see where the mist is coming from?
Absolutely.
The
There's a
building.
building across the crossing that is leaking that from the second floor.
Shouldn't we go check that out? We
Yeah,
are
that-
here
that's-
to fix.
that's-
you're weird.
okay.
Yeah, that's where
Okay.
we are going right now.
You bet.
It seems like
Also, don't hit
amazing.
any of the people on the way through.
Right.
Mhm.
They're all frozen in place. Those of you who aren't blind, I'm not going to re-roll for this. Notice that none of those people are calcified at all. Not even a little bit. Not their ankles, not their toes, nothing. Which is to say, it would appear that Hoshi had a different reaction than they did.
Uh-huh.
oh,
Um,
she's special.
Sure,
I
that's
don't
a
know
word
that
for it.
Hoshi's special. I don't like that the mist is targeting.
I suspect there's a difference between people who travel, who like shinobi
Yeah, it
people who
could
travel
be-
interdimensionally and
Or have
civilians.
It
You
could
know,
be
or-
something like that, where it's to
Yeah.
prevent anybody like us from getting into this place.
As you approach the building, It looks like a couple-story office building from the outside. Very uneventful, aside from the crack in the side of it from which pours this mist. If it wasn't for that, it would look like 1,000 other buildings you walk by every day and don't notice. When you get to the front door, it's a big metal plated looking thing, the kind of thing with a metal plate over the side, and it probably doesn't open without a key card. But it opens as you approach, and 6 heavily armed, gas mask, armored looking like SWAT turned all the way up. SWAT have come to stop a superhero, right? Pour out of the gate, pour out of the door with big scary guns up and go, surrender now.
Which one of you
Surrender for
assholes
what?
is Frank?
Yes, what he said.
You'll watch like one of the people in the army. You can't see them. We're talking a full face plate, right? But there's definitely a shift in body language that I imagine here's an opportunity for Rena, I suppose. That somebody like Rena, somebody who spent their adult career, maybe their whole life, being able to pick up on that kind of thing, definitely notices. There's sort of a wavering for a moment, and you go, I surrender now.
No, today has been a day. Where is Frank? Now.
I think you should
And
listen to the
that
ghosts,
armored guy will look at the other ones and they'll do a shrug. They'll back up but keep their guns on you. And this other guy will step forward and lower his gun a little bit, just a little, right? And go, I mean, I guess we can talk. We can still kill you. I have a
Do you
son
see us
named
being
Frank.
affected by this that's going on right now?
Yes, that's why we need to
step out of this and have a conversation with Frank now.
My son is 9 years old. What do you know about my son?
Oh, okay. So yeah, Xanatos sent us to probably to threaten you by proxy.
Oh, yeah, no, that would make more sense, yeah.
That guy will
Xanatos gave us a name, Frank.
that guy will spin around and shoot his 3 coworkers.
Oh,
And go, yeah, let's go inside.
Yep.
Nice.
Well, that's one way to handle it.
Casual.
Just gonna follow along and just be
Before I'm gonna follow along, but I'm gonna take at least one of those guns.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I like it or not, I'm probably gonna take one of those guns.
Rena's
If
just
you
gonna
don't like
leave
it, I'll
these
take
just Scott.
2.
If you don't like it, I'll do. There are
There's 3 of them. You could
there are
still
3
take
guns.
2.
Yeah, you. I was just gonna say. You step
Yeah.
inside. He closes the door.
Super quick as we walk past, does Hoshi see any kind of key card or identification on them in said big armor?
Oh yeah.
Gonna
So
grab
they,
those.
you bet. They have a plate on their. They have like a painting on their chest plate that indicates that they are steel. I always want to say steel court, and that's wrong.
Steel court.
They are steel court. What amounts to like SWAT cops.
Oh, Rena would actually pull out her bag and just she'll bring one of the bodies inside
Mhm.
and take the hazmat suit off of them and put it in her chameleon bag.
Oh, nice. Mechanically speaking, what you're looking at is the rifle, which you'll find on the second page of the armory. With one exception. The rifle on the armory has the loud keyword. This one doesn't.
Silenced?
I didn't say that. Just not loud.
Not loud.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I have a silencer.
When we get inside, does the mist still exist?
not on this floor, no.
Great.
Once you close the door and it doesn't leak through the door underneath. That guy will like and take his mask off. And there's no face under there. He's just like all muscle tissue. It's a wonder that he's like his stuff just doesn't fall out of him.
Fun.
And he goes, yeah, hi, you should have started with that. I didn't realize we were all on the same team. What is it that I can help you with?
What team?
Okay, so what the fuck is the yellow mist bullshit?
Oh, I don't know. While
Oh.
we're on the same team with Xanatos, I really do have a job as a SWAT cop. I don't know. Like we were sent to look after it. I mean, it's clearly coming from the second floor. This is a research building, which means it could
Did
be
you
fucking anything.
go up there to look at it?
we were going to do that, and then we heard kerfuffle outside, and there you were. And protocol is to,
Kill?
no, we said surrender, not die now.
Then we mentioned his name, and then you did kill.
Well, yeah, that's a different
Okay.
directive, a higher directive.
Point stir foot.
Okay.
Any ideas?
Molly is getting
That looks like it's
really
calcified
excited
to
that
me.
we're in the middle of a research building.
Ah.
Very excited.
Hey,
So-
Renali, do you think you can use whatever's here to fix this?
Absolutely, I can certainly try. And she like starts walking around
Bless
and like
you.
Here
Wait.
on the first
immediately
floor, it just looks
opening
like a big
doors.
Just
Go ahead.
hold up. Wait. Just
flag
I-
on the play.
I pull up now. I don't want to use this already. I don't.
But
We have a flower. I have a flower stem elixir in my bag.
what's that do for the people in the back?
You either get 5 vitality points back, or you end the effect of a poison by which you are affected.
So here's what I don't know.
If this is
But I-
poison, it's
Then I'll
it-
use mine. Don't you use yours? Because I don't need 2 of my teammates using theirs on me when I have one.
Because I already used mine on her as
So,
well.
Okay.
but what I
during the
don't
other
know is if my foot is reversible calcified if the poison goes away,
Mhm.
or if this is the effect of the poison, and I need to do something else to make it go away, even if the poison never contacts it again.
Okay.
Which foot
The
was
floor
it?
you're looking, the floor in this room is just like a waiting area. There's a bunch of chairs, and it like a doctor's office. It's stiff and immemorable and boring. But there is an elevator, unlike at some doctor's offices where you might find labels and arrows and such. There is none of that. It looks just as boring on the inside and unmarked as it did on the outside. There's an elevator that goes to presumably the rest of the floors. And the guy will go, yeah, the whole thing about the sun cover. I'm Frank. What can I help you with?
Oh shit.
What
Hey,
do you
Tanamiki, do you have
know?
that key? Tanamiki,
Sure
sorry.
do. Tanamichi, you'll find, in case that wasn't clear,
Yeah.
it has not stopped trying to talk to you about its children the entire time you've been
He's-
traveling with it.
He's just kind of been
Children?
trying to
Children.
Children?
block it
Nothing.
out as much as possible.
Also, the key was not mentioned to Xanatos at all.
No.
Yes, I noticed. Good plan.
Yeah.
Like
Pointing
solid
that out in
decision
case
making
Rena
on your part.
Mhm.
caught that.
Like,
No, I didn't catch that. I forgot about that. But I'm
Okay.
just
What do you know of brick buildings carved with a poem and a doll?
oh yeah. Yeah.
That.
Yes, yeah, Jack and John are back. I'm not thrilled about it personally. But what are you gonna do?
Define back.
and who's Jack and John?
They were gone and now they're here again.
Smiles and Skulk. Jack and John.
Right. Smiles and Skull
Oh.
sent you to investigate Wicked Jack and Wretched John, who carved a poem into the right. And he was like, yeah. I'll tell you what I know. Jack and John, before they were Wicked Jack and Wretched John, were just two, thugs who hurt people in the street, drunken morons with a bone to pick and willing to pick it with anybody. But over time, they spent some time in the drunk tank. They got arrested. It happens. And it was always like a little thing, like they broke a guy's nose. It was mostly that you attacked a random citizen, not that you did any meaningful damage. Here, a little bit of damage is a pretty constant thing. If we arrested everybody who broke somebody's nose, there would be no space for people who did actual crime. But then they decided they were good at it and maybe even liked it. And next thing you know, they're doing like running gangs of crazy people. Cult leaders are probably too weak a word to use. And then I was part of the Dragnet that was going to catch him, and they just vanished. We had a great lead, and we did. We had a great lead. We found their hideout. We kicked in the door. Badass, had a battering ram. I was super excited. First big mission as a cop, right? Bam! No moral concern. These really are bad guys, right? And it was just a blank sheet of paper on a table.
What did that sheet of paper say?
Nothing.
Or no,
It was
blank
blank.
sheet.
It's blank sheet of paper.
What I think it means is we had nothing.
Do you still have the blank sheet of paper?
I mean, I don't personally, but yeah, it's probably still in the file at the office. Why?
Might
Might not have been actually been blank.
Maybe not, but we ran every test I could think of at the time over it. Then again, that now that you bring that out, that was like 20 years ago, but still.
Do you have a description physical of these two?
So we had camera surveillance in so many places that where they did the things they do, but they always came out blurry enough we couldn't identify them. Always.
Do you have any general description of the blurs?
Yeah.
Short, wide, thin.
Jack is really thin. John is like a square. He's as wide as he is tall, right? And the only thing they share in common, other than I'm pretty sure they're both men, though honestly I can't prove that, is that their fingers are way too long.
Hey, GM, question.
Hmm.
Can you give us a physical description of Smiley and Skulky again?
Uh-huh.
I mean, I could, yeah. Mr. Skulk is unreasonably skinny. Like he should probably see a doctor about that. And Mr. Smile is a cube, just about. He's as wide as he is tall, and their fingers are exceptionally long, like to a point where it's kind of
That's
unnerving.
convenient.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank
okay,
you. So
so-
either we are looking for the same people that we were then sent at by, or we are looking for clones, doppelgangers,
Doppelgangers. Doppelgangers?
That word, yep.
That word.
Like a clone that you send to work so you can stay at home and you can rake in the money. The doppelganger. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I strongly suspect that the order to fix it was perhaps not a
Fix people knowing about them, maybe?
Remove the damage so much as remove the evidence.
I love the cat face right now. Like,
listen,
that's a happy cat.
It is a
bestest
happy
baby. And from this angle of your camera, we get it like real clear. He's smiling.
Like,
Yeah, he's
So
smiling.
cute.
It's a
this
full
life
smile.
is the
He's
best
resting
life.
his head. Was resting his head on my chest.
Aw.
Hey, babe.
And he goes, they were gone for a long time. They completely disappeared. I mean, we still had violence, right? Like, they're not the only guys who get in a street brawl, but not like that. And
So let's
a week
say
ago, they just that carving appeared on the wall, and there was a rash of people across the city, people who had a history of violence and people who didn't. Like a mad outbreak of psychosis just spread through the city like wildfire for a day and a half, and then it just stopped again. It's like they're playing with me. Sorry, us playing with us.
you might say they were acting like people possessed.
You might.
Sorry.
Why do I feel like you know
will
something that I
eventually
don't?
pay attention to the game again. The cat's just so
Yeah.
fucking adorable.
He is very
yeah.
adorable. Look at him. I love the
So-
paw. Like,
And he knows it.
So we're in a bit of a pickle here.
no kidding. I'll have to come up with an excuse to what happened to the 3 dead men. And I don't know how you're going to get back out of the containment cell. Or is that not what you meant?
Containment cell?
You are in the crossing, right? And you're talking. Like that's not supposed to happen. I don't know how you're going to explain that.
Are you
And
talking about
I-
how we got into the building and not be affected?
No. So the crossing is a recently, I think the word invention is appropriate. A stasis created by an energy field placed on top of the crossing. Sort of like a prison, except you don't have to feed anybody or look after them or whatever. You're in it and you were talking and walking. That's not supposed to happen. Camera feeds all over the containment cell watched you do whatever you did.
Well, we came from our mutual friend.
Okay, and I don't have a problem with that, but the city at large will.
Are those
Um,
tapes stored locally?
Kind of
Or
were hoping you might have an explanation rather than a.
So you're saying the city at large
mean-
put this place under containment to prevent the infestation from spreading?
No, we remember the thing where I said we might have filled our prisons up? That wasn't a hypothetical. We did. So now we do this instead. I'm not sure I like it. I don't know how I feel about suspended animation as a prison option.
So everyone out there, it's not that everyone out there was here and therefore is in the cube. It's everyone out there was placed here and therefore is in the cube.
Correct. The
Okay.
mist that you're being affected by is actually a separate thing altogether. I don't know what's in the research building. We didn't get that far before we heard you.
Well, let's go check out the research building, but you said
Yeah.
that there's cameras everywhere. They would have
Everywhere.
watched you kill those other guards.
Oh yeah, I'll explain that away. It's fine. Happens all the time.
What? It happens all the time?
Well, not all the time, but I mean, our mutual friend wouldn't be the first time I've run into fellow members of the team, you know?
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
I can explain 3 of my dead teammates away. That won't be an issue. Explaining to this, because I only have to explain that to the people I work for. The other people I work for. Explaining all of you inside the containment cell where you don't look like you're from around here, because I mean, you're not, right? And that you're walking and talking. Like, how did you even get here?
Oh,
How did
just
What do you do? Just
all you
appear?
have to do is say that, and then she's gonna mention she hasn't said her last name yet.
Uh-huh.
And politician, political ties. Just say that Takimi came for an inspection.
Hey, that's good. I like that. That's a good plan. I don't
Hi,
suppose
I'm
you can
Takimi.
offer me. I don't suppose you could offer up some sort of, I don't know, certification, letterhead, something I could use
How do you
to.
spell that?
Oh, I'll have Takemi.
Takemi?
So
Takemi?
Takemi. Takemi. Oh yes, no problem. As soon as we get done with here, I can make sure there's an email sent with a letterhead saying that I came here for an inspection.
Excellent. If you don't mind
And to
me
test
asking.
security, and you were great at it.
Oh, thank you. How did you get here?
We told
Our
you from our mutual friend.
Sent us.
That's not clear, but it's clear enough for me.
We
Okay.
literally
So
Like,
said
walked
pick
through
a
a
doorway
door.
and we walked through it.
sure,
Well,
whatever you
hold up,
say. I don't
hold
even
up.
know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Frank here is as well versed as we are as to what exactly our mutual friend does for a living.
That's fine.
Right.
He's willing to
and-
kill
That's as
for it.
much
What's
as
the
we
matter?
can say. We don't know
Right.
the
But
how.
to be
We know
clear,
that that's
Frank
who and how.
expresses that while he was, some part of him was hoping you'd be more forthcoming about that you were sent by Xanatos is enough for him. Like, no, that's good. Whatever. I
And
don't
we
care
don't
if-
have more of an explanation than that. Like,
Okay.
we don't know how we were able to walk through and not be in the containment field. We walked through our mutual friend's doorway. You have to ask him. Like,
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Keep your secrets. That's okay. And he goes, if you work, you look like, look, I'm not immune to the containment field. That's why I'm wearing all of this. Like,
No, we aren't
so,
either.
but you are. You're not?
We shouldn't touch the containment field, yes. Yellow cloud thing, not so much.
Huh.
Mhm.
Still, that suggests that you're more impressive. I'm asking if you want me to go with you upstairs, or if you.
Oh yeah, of course. You
Oh.
can
Yes.
go first.
Yes.
There's a deep gulp like a cartoon.
Also,
he
I
agrees to go
still
with you.
have my aura of wind up. I just have lessened the strength of it since we've been in.
Sure, you bet.
So it feels more like an AC breeze than
Nice.
a gust of wind to try to, be like,
Mhm.
oh, hey, this is why we're, immune.
And Amici, do you still have yours up, or is that done?
That's only last 10 minutes, so I feel like it's probably
Running out of steam
By
here.
the time
Faded
this
after-
conversation ends, yeah.
yeah.
right.
at the
Mine's
end,
an
but-
hour.
mhm.
Nice.
Also,
Yeah.
I do just want to say that during that whole conversation that everyone was having with Frank, Molly was running around opening drawers, opening cabinets, looking at vials, just anything
Yes.
that would
Having
be
an
helpful
absolute
or
blast.
unknown that
Mhm.
she could potentially use in her future potions.
You bet.
Like she
So
would
while
ask
the-
before she actually takes something, but she totally is not asking permission to rummage.
You bet.
Oh,
Go
at
ahead.
one point in the middle of it, Rena also offered, "Hey, if you want anything to add, you can put it in this bag that I'm now kind of have on my shoulder that has the hazmat suit that I stole."
Nice.
Oh my gosh. Yes, absolutely. Molly's
Mhm.
so excited by
Re-
that.
So as you tear open every cabinet you can find, it's all basic, boring shit you might expect to find in a waiting area of an office. Loose letterhead, papers, blank sheets, the kind of thing you shove into a printer,
The
pens.
actual research stuff is different floors, right?
Right. But would you make an awareness check all the same as you're ripping through the stuff to see if anything stands out?
It's just Molly, right?
And anyone who's ransacking with her. It's a good word, ransack.
Ooh, 51545.
Nice. You bet.
Ooh,
What's
nice.
that? 2 successes? 3?
3.
3. No, 4. 4 successes.
Oh, because of the 4.
Yeah, 4
Yeah,
and 2
yeah.
5.
3
Well, no,
5s and
because
a 4.
3
one
5
would
and a
have
4.
3 5s, 1 and a 4.
Oh, so 3
the
sisters.
would the
Mhm.
yeah the one would have canceled one of the 5s, right?
Oh, right. Thank you.
Right.
Okay.
So you're
Mhm,
looking at a grand
mhm.
total of 2, 3.
3.
3.
As you ransack the place, you find that in the bottom drawer of so the desk where there would usually be a computer, that sort of thing, and you can see a dust line. It looks like there was a laptop maybe, and somebody made off with it recently. That the dust hasn't settled into that spot, and that it's like a big desk with a bunch of drawers on either side, but it's built into the wall. That like half space where you come in and usually talk to the secretary through the glass. There's no glass, and that horizontal half wall has the desk built into it. You couldn't take it out without taking out the wall. But this means that the drawers are bigger than they might otherwise be. The bottom one opens, but only looks like it's this deep, and that drawer on the outside is like this.
Mm.
Secret compartment.
Yeah, she's gonna dig and like
Mhm.
try to take. Did you say there was a laptop in there? Did I mishear that?
On the desk, there is an outline in the dust that looks like it's about the shape of what could be a laptop, but it's not
Okay.
here. So whatever was here was taken recently enough that the dust that settled around it hasn't had more time to settle into it.
Okay, and you
Like-
said that was in the secret drawer? I just
That
see
was
a
on
secret
top.
drawer.
There was an outline of dust on top of the desk, the same place you might put a laptop.
Okay, she's
Um,
gonna start digging into that secret drawer.
You bet. You run your fingernails around the inside and you find a place to and pop it up. And in there is a laptop. That is black and unmarked in any way, but does have a blinking green light on the top of it.
Ooh.
All right, she's gonna open it up. She doesn't care. She's just gonna if she's not meant to look at it, somebody will stop her. So she's just gonna go for it.
You bet. It is open. The blinking green light turned out to be standby mode. And there is what looks like a complicated pile of scientific mumbo jumbo nonsense that probably doesn't make sense to most people, but makes sense to you. It's a genetic recombinating plan.
I don't like those words when there's something
A
on my foot.
genetic recombinating plan?
Recombinating, or if you prefer,
Oh.
recombining, recompiling even. I want to take 6 or 7 different things and whip them together to make one superior thing.
Splicing.
Splicing.
Yeah.
Like Full Metal
With-
Alchemist.
With
Yeah.
a strong
Yeah.
focus
That.
No.
with a strong
Oh.
focus on toxicology and immunity to external environments.
Which foot was it that's affected?
Right
Uh,
one is
the
what
left
I
foot.
decided. Or left foot.
It's
Okay.
the
It doesn't
left
actually
foot?
matter to me. If you want to go with the right foot, go for it.
Is it the right foot or the left foot?
Right.
Okay.
What? No. What are?
Oh, Rena's
That
just gonna
sounded
have
like a
name.
goblin giggle. I love a
Yeah.
goblin giggle.
I love the
Um,
goblin giggle, but not when our characters are slightly at odds
Oh,
right now.
Rena's just gonna have an inside nickname for you in her head now. It's fine.
That's fine.
Can Molly print these plans? Like I'm assuming there's a printer around here somewhere.
There is a printer. That's where all that paper goes. You bet.
Yeah, just command print. Like command P. She's just printing all of it. She's taking it with her.
You bet. There's no evidence of who signed it or like who wrote it or anything, with the exception of a symbol that's been turned way down in the opacity, so it's difficult to see. And it's between the margins, so it's kind of like in the background of a 2D image. And it looks like a black eye over a red and purple like shield in the back.
Wait a second. Hold up.
Wait a minute.
Can I
Wait a
look at
minute.
that? Because I think I know what that is.
I mean, I don't know if Molly's sharing that with everybody, but so far Molly's been pretty open about everything. Who knows?
I apologize for the fit of shenanigans that just took place to the people that have no clue what's going on in the Discord.
Don't apologize. Context is for
I am
wimps.
getting bullied. Affectionately, I hope, but I am.
You should read it
I did.
out loud.
Out loud to
No.
the audience.
No.
Can I?
No.
When the session is done, but you have to do it like it's a Dr. Seuss book. Anyway,
Mhm,
moving on.
mhm.
So yeah, the if since they're busy chatting, I'm gonna wander over to see what Molly's doing, and I will recognize that symbol because I have seen that before. That's a Hollow Eye Syndicate thing,
100%.
and
Oh, tarnations.
and that's two pieces of evidence. So, okay, so for Molly and Rena's benefit, we had a little conversation during the break about this.
Did you?
Oh, I was here. I heard it. But
Okay.
Explain it to.
I didn't.
Okay, so that whole rift diving thing we did at the beginning of this job
Which
is
is not normal. The normal way to do it.
it's bullshit. That's how Hollow Eye does their shit. That's how they travel from place to place because they don't have access to the Shadow Scars Torii gates, which
So
is
were
what
we accidentally hired by the?
Maybe
I
not hired
don't
by, but our
know.
handlers are. We might have been put on a mission by.
Yeah.
So we were using to cover up, maybe,
Killers.
for whatever
and they were trying to kill us by having us go through it that way.
unclear, but for whatever reason we were sent.
Or we were
We-
sent to cover up what happened rather than to figure out what happened.
Because the thing is,
Mhm.
Hollow Eye is comprised of people who left Shadow Scar, who fled, and should not be part of the agency anymore. So how they were able to send us on a mission in the first place is a little suspicious.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The only reason I know where they came, like what that symbol is, and recognize the whole rift diving thing is because that's kind of how I ended up in Shadow Scar in the first place, following those dumbasses around because they did a job on my space station.
Ah,
So I thought, hey, wonder what they're doing. They've made a bit of a mess.
Mhm.
And yeah, followed through a hole and it landed on Nakatsukuni, and here we go.
Mhm.
So yeah. But the idea that Xanatos somehow has access to Shadow Scar's gates, but Shadow Scar agents don't. Yeah, I don't
Little
think.
sus.
Yeah, these guys are not on the up and up, and
Mm-mm.
Oh, and especially when they match the general description we have of these
Of
the
the
bad guys. Yeah,
bad
I kinda-
cult leader
yeah,
almost
is
an
a light
exact
word level.
description.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
No, but it was enough that when you're already paranoid, it doesn't take much.
yeah, so I'm kind of curious as to how at our headquarters these guys are able to A, operate, and B, send new recruits out on jobs.
Were we even at headquarters?
Yeah.
Did we come from
Yes,
headquarters?
you came
Okay.
from headquarters. It was your first job as a team.
And we were sent to their room specifically.
Specifically, right? You were brought in by guys under
At the
masks who wouldn't
headquarters.
speak to you,
Mhm.
right?
Hmm.
We weren't sure if they were yokai or not.
Correct.
Yeah.
That was
Because
a key
yokai-
thing that was said at the beginning of all of
Yokai
this.
wear the masks. So yokai, unless not all, some yokai look like humans, but the ones that
Mhm.
don't, really don't. They're giant,
Yeah.
monsters or
monster
squibs
creatures.
or dogs or whatever, right?
Mhm.
So they wear this mask and it sort of contains them in a human shell. So when yokai are slain, or detained or swept from the board in whatever capacity, the Shadow Scar organization tends to take the yokai as trophies. Both because any yokai mask, most yokai masks, can be worn by whatever yokai gets their hands on it. So this is one less thing the yokai can use to hide. And it's, look what I did. Like the Shadow Scar version of mounting a deer head on your wall.
The other thing is
Mhm.
that some, I'm pretty sure some agents are able to use those masks to basically they can adopt the same appearance as the yokai did when they were wearing them in impersonating
Right,
humans.
right. So if you can bullshit if you as a member of the organization put on the mask and then can convince through conversation the other yokai in whatever hidey hole they came from that you're that yokai, they have no way to prove that you're not. So all you have to do is talk a good enough game. It's probably something Rena's quite good at, actually. Is putting on a yokai mask, walking into a yokai nightclub, and convincing everybody that you are who you say you are. What are they going to do? Yank your mask off and be wrong? They'll have to pay
Mhm.
dearly for that. It's
Mhm.
exceptionally rude. And most yokai care about rudeness just like ordinary people do. Just because they're, monstrous creatures doesn't mean they don't have manners.
Yeah, monster as a archetype just because they are the monster category does not mean they are monsters in terms of
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
But
They
just
have
because
their
they're
own
monstrous
society that
doesn't
has
mean they're
its own
monstrous. Right. They have their
We
own
just are
society
at
and
odds
arts
with
and
them.
customs. Yeah. Also, something that might not have come up. I think it's worth clarifying. The Shadow Scar is not the name of your organization. I have not named it on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, the
the Shadow Scar is the plague that affects your world. Well, not just your world. Anyway,
I saw it referred to
Universe.
as the Shadow Scar Agency in the materials, so I just been going with that.
right, you bet. Yes, the agency, you bet.
Agency
This,
that's been in charge of trying to help Shadow Scar get rid of Shadow Scar,
Mhm.
right?
yes, the Shadow Scar is a
Yeah.
plague that seeps across multiple planes at a time.
Mhm.
it wouldn't happen to be yellow fog that calcifies your foot, would it?
It would, as a matter of fact.
Wow. Okay, great.
Like, it
of
does more than
this.
calcify your foot, but
Yep. Well, that's
Huh.
the first part she's worried about.
Cool.
so
Yay.
yeah. Now that we have retroactively filled that knowledge base in, that Hoshi knows it, do you still want to go upstairs?
We probably should.
Look at
just
Molly
to-
like, you bet I do.
Yeah,
Molly's
for-
like, yes.
I
It-
like how you asked that of Hoshi, who's expressed no interest in going upstairs. She wants this fixed with her foot. And Molly
Mhm.
is the scientist person in a scientific
Location.
He's so cute.
Literally
Hey,
laying
there's
on
no
my
need to
head.
drag your feet. We'll get
Oh,
up there.
Aww. Aww.
But that is where the research lab is that she would be able to use the information from it to try to heal you. So we
Mhm.
still need to go up there to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
You want to put the hazmat suit on?
There's extra ones.
I love Molly's like, no, I can't feel the stuff the same way if I have big thick gloves on.
Okay, so
She does take, like, how much paper do you think she's printing? Like, is it a couple pages? Is it like
Oh,
a
it's
book?
extensive.
A full book. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure we could find a flash drive around here to put everything on.
You bet.
I probably have one.
I feel like she's waiting. I don't think she's thinking that far ahead, to be honest. I think she's so
Mm.
excited that she's waiting for the printer.
Oh,
Can I
Nice.
do a knowledge
It's a
check?
quality printer. We're talking a whole page in a second and a half. None of this nonsense. It's a
Mhm,
quality
mhm.
printer.
GM,
Perfect.
can I do a knowledge check to see if
Hmm.
the flower stem elixir would work if I'm aware that this is Shadow Scar?
Yes, but I'm not going to be off that. I would argue that you already know. The
Okay.
elixir will work, but here's one of the problems with the shadow scar plague. It manifests differently in different people. It manifests differently in the same person more than once. So today you got a calcified foot. Maybe next time your eyes melt out of your head.
As
Mm.
in when I'm exposed again, or as in
When you're exposed again.
Okay. So in that case, if I know that this is Shadow Scar, once we're like inside and having the conversation, what she will do is take her own elixir.
Hold on. The
Oh,
elixir
no.
will solve your problem,
But
but the elixir only works on an individual person for the purposes of treating shadow scar one time. The
Ever?
agency is filled with people that lived with various degrees of problem, and then like first one of their hands, two of their fingers fused together, and they were like, I'll live with it. And their
Mhm.
face just erupted in a scar, and they went, I'll live with it. And then their eyes fell out, and they went, nope, and took it to get their eyes back. But it didn't fix the other stuff. And next time they have a shadow scar problem, they're stuck with it. So is this the time you want to use it?
That's a choice.
okay, here's a question.
Okay.
But I know if I kicked something and my foot went to dust and then I took the potion, I'd get my foot back.
You would get your foot back.
Great. I'm not going to take it yet. I'm going to take it if I am then damaged.
Sure.
By it.
You bet.
You
Keep
could
in
always
mind
make a
that,
deal with Thanatos.
I'm not, listen, I did it to get the shit we needed for the mission. I'm not trying to bank on that relationship.
Feet accessories by Xanatos.
The agency provides prosthetic limbs. They are in our book.
Right, yeah. The loss of a foot is
Mhm.
it might be
Yes,
a
but the loss
traumatic
of a foot
experience, but
on the
physically-
mission while the mission is still happening is a problem.
Right, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
So-
We'll
Yeah.
help
So
you
no,
put your
she will
best
not.
foot
She
forward.
will not drink it, but she will.
yeah.
I think honestly, she'll probably be sitting there and like doing some reminder research of
Best
Shadow
backup
Star.
boots in the business. You bet.
Mhm.
Just kind of like, oh yeah, no, I know. Like what I had to do last year when a kid was like, yeah, I was just with a friend who has chickenpox, and I was like, shit.
Oh,
Let me
the agony of
kick
defeat.
down, go home, call the people in my family, the nurses, and be like, what do I need to know if the kid was near a friend that had this and that I was there for 2 minutes and then blah 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 blah. Like I know, but I don't know. So she's doing that type of like catch up research now that it's on her foot. Yep, that's what she's doing. I don't like that it's pouring out of a building though.
Yeah,
That's
there
why
we
we
I
go.
don't
gotta
like
go
that it's
see.
pouring out of a building near the place that we were sent to by the suspicious handlers who she has a word or two to say to them. It's only going to be a word or two, and it's going to be hello and goodbye.
Well, we weren't sent here by the handlers, were we? We were sent here by Xanatos.
We were
With his
sent
door.
here
We were sent to
by
Steel
the
Court by the
handlers,
handlers,
and we went to Xanatos
fix
to
the
get
problem.
information.
Right.
Xanatos
sent
was a
us-
stop we chose to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is
The
it?
handlers decided that they opened it up to Xanatos because we said that's where we were going first.
Is there
Mhm.
any chance this potential rift in the Shadow Scar is the one that got made when we were on our way here?
It's possible, but unlikely.
Okay.
But
So
one on our way here.
More likely that whatever's going on here is something they most likely caused, or in some way were directly related to.
could be. Are we heading upstairs from here?
Yeah,
Oh
You
yeah.
bet.
yeah.
When
Yeah.
you get upstairs,
I will
you,
take one of the hazmat suits though,
you
if
bet.
I can put that on because
Uh,
I'm not.
um,
No.
Oh, she, but you're going with
once
them. Yeah.
once we get upstairs
So you've
to a
gotten
point
over your
where
cold
the
feet problem.
mist.
I will jump out of this call and it'll fuck up the Zoom. We got
Sorry,
10
what-
minutes
what
left.
was
I
that,
can end
Xanadu?
early. Bye.
That's okay.
Stop with the
Once we
puns.
get up to a certain point where like the mist starts showing up again, Tanamichi will kind of like hit that wind thing again around
You bet.
himself.
When you get up to the second floor, it's a long lift ride. It feels like forever. And Frank will start like you can hear a clicking. You look over, it's his knees. They're busy going to. He's terrified.
I
I
Rena
will
would have put
say,
majority of the hazmat suit on besides the head, just so
Okay.
that way she can quickly put on the hat.
I
I
will
get it. You
say
can't schmooze
with
as well if they can't see you. I get it.
with Molly knowing that this is Shadow Scar, she
Mhm.
will put the hazmat on.
You bet.
Mm.
There are only 3 dead men.
Mhm.
There are 6 of you.
Mhm.
So
3 of us have a hazmat suit on. The others didn't grab one.
just checking. You
We
bet.
ran out.
We ran
The
out.
hazmat store.
Mhm.
Yeah, Hoshi went, shit, this is Shadow
Well-
Star. We're going upstairs.
Wouldn't
Nah,
Frank be able to
I'm-
provide with more?
And take his off
No,
and
wouldn't
go
he,
with
wouldn't he
you.
know where wouldn't he know where Moore's at since we're in the building?
It
Oh, they
wasn't
didn't get
from
them. We
here,
didn't
it's-
get them from the building. These
Yeah.
came from. We wore. These are. They're not just hazmat suits. These are battle suits. They're armor and a hazmat suit. They
Oh.
came. They. Well, I put these on. I put this on before I stepped into the field. What are you crazy? Like
Yeah,
absolutely
they're
not.
There.
here.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, so
Speaking of, does that mean that we have armor on in addition?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I
yeah.
will. I'm gonna hang back a little bit because if I don't have a hazmat suit on, I don't want to go into any place that's going to have this mist rolling around.
Okay.
So as soon as we see where it's emanating from, I'll probably back away and maybe guard the outside.
Okay. The armor you're currently wearing is heavy. Mechanically, it's actually quite flexible. But mechanically speaking, what that does, it stops 4 points. It has 4 armor.
So if we
And-
already have armor on, that means it's in addition to the armor that we have on.
Yes. Though if the armor you are currently wearing is tight fitting, you'll have to choose.
Mine is a thin metal armor that can be concealed beneath clothing.
I would argue
Okay.
that that would go underneath this. It would be like
And then
wearing.
I have the Shinobi Shizuku.
Mhm.
Would I need to replace that with this armor?
Is it Shizuku the one you broke earlier?
No, the armor was the one I broke, and then it got replaced by Xanatos with it too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Then yes, you'd have to replace this with that.
But the
Sorry,
Shinobi
you'd have to replace
Shizuku
that. Go ahead.
Which
only
that I have two.
adds-
The armor,
only
the
adds
Shinobi.
bonus to stealth though, not
I know, but
armor.
I need to know: am I taking that off, or am I taking the armor
Yeah, if
off?
you put this armor on, you lose the stealth bonus because they're
Okay,
both
okay.
they sort of sit on you in the same place.
Sure.
Also,
will-
you are essentially wearing a thick and clunky on the outside, but on the inside, really dexterous SWAT outfit. You stick out. Like,
Oh yeah, no, I'm not worried about like this might be something that goes in a bag or goes for later, but like right now, I want to know if I'm gonna get hit. What's
you
gonna
bet.
happen?
Yeah,
Mhm.
when it comes time for this mission to end, I have a way of stowing it really quickly. But
You bet. In the future, if you go on to this mission from this mission into the next one and still have it and want to keep it, but don't want to stick out like a steel court cup, it's just
Yeah.
like a spray paint tag. You could, undo it or fuck it up or paint over it or whatever. The armor itself is really nice, but is just been tagged over on the top.
Yeah.
So you get to the second floor, and there's a hissing that you hear before you get up there, like a gas hissing, not like a creature. When the door opens, Frank steps forward and loses his mind and just shoots at everything in the room and empties his gun and screams at the top of his lungs, bends his knees, does one of these, right? Like the crazy 80s character where he fires a bunch of bullets into the sky for no fucking reason. And then goes, "Did I get it?" Frank has shot many, many things. He shot a bunch of beakers. He shot the roof. He shot the floor. He shot 6 men that were almost certainly dead already. Like,
Uh-oh.
That depends, Frank. What was it? We couldn't see it.
You hit a lot of it.
excellent. Cool. And then he'll look down and
Maybe
go,
you
like,
might want to wait out here while we go in and check
Yeah.
this out.
I love that plan. And he'll get back in the elevator. The
He was
room you're
still in-
looking. What now?
He was still in his suit
Frank? Oh, yeah. Like,
with the helmet on and everything.
oh, yeah.
Did he just stormtrooper it?
Kinda.
Yes,
Yeah. Like,
100%.
yeah, right. Kinda. Like, all the way. Yeah. Like, So the room you've entered into looks like a science lab. It's a thing that Molly was looking for. There's speakers all over the place. There's paperwork all over the floor. It looks like some great either explosion or creature tore through here. Desks are upside down. A couple of the chairs hit the ceiling with enough force they're stuck in it, and the wheels on the bottom just spin a little bit. There are 6 scientists in here that all look like they've been struck with what got to Hoshi, but all the way up. They're statues in various degrees of posing and breakage. The yellow stuff, the shadow scar, looks like it's pouring out of a broken window, which you're now looking at, but it's you're now eye level with, but it's coming out of what looks like a vat, like a big, like the little beakers you played with in high school, but it's bigger, right? Like a beaker the size of a stovepat. There's lots of little conduits and shit that run to it. There's a grand experiment going on in here. Lots of beakers and cables and colored this and that, that all run to this machine. They probably weren't trying to make Shadow Scar, probably.
It is what was made.
Looks like it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big whiteboard covered in notes. And one guy's like turned to stone and ran towards it and has done one of these and fucked up some of the notes as he like wrote his hand across it. But
Oh no,
most
the
of it's
DM's
still
not going to
there.
give us the exact complete.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
know.
the DM's not going to give us the exact complete equation. That'd be way too easy, especially with a scientist in our party. What do you mean?
But most of it's still there, 80%. And the hissing is coming from that pot. It would be like a witch's cauldron, except it's big and steel and not a cauldron, but it's very much a big bubbling pot of swirling, nasty smelling yellow shit.
Molly walks right up to it.
Because you're crazy. Like,
Titan.
right.
Means it
I
won't
mean, she
impact her. She's
isn't
already there.
the
Because you're one of those
the
people
thing.
whose desire to learn is outweighs their desire to not get harmed.
Mhm.
Like,
She
good
does
for you.
have,
The universe needs a whole
does
bunch
have
of
a
you.
slight sense of self-preservation when it's obvious.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm clearly going to be in danger here. I'm going to protect myself. But if it's like a 50-50 shot and she
Yeah,
doesn't
fuck it.
sense the immediate danger, she's like,
Well, I mean,
yeah, fuck
she's
it.
she's in one of the hazmat suits.
Yeah, just
so,
don't
like...
drink it and you'll be fine. Like,
Dang it, there goes plan B.
hey. Like,
Ew. Hey.
Can I look around and see if there's any
Oh, I think I have to make you.
other obvious containers such as beakers or anything that have any evidence of this liquid in it?
that specific liquid, you don't see anything that looks like a bottled shadow scar. No.
Well, no, I mean like this broken beaker over here that has some yellow coming, like
Oh,
any
yeah.
evidence that only this steel bowl is what's able to hold it.
Oh,
Uh,
yes, lots of that. You see
Okay.
various different degrees of containers, different kinds of glass, ceramic, that sort of thing. They try different containers of varying sizes, shapes, and materials. And like with different kinds of glass, the same kind of material, just not quite the same. And
I'm just gonna say quietly, Molly, don't try to take any of it unless you have a steel tube on you.
you do see
have the
a smaller
lantern.
container that is about this big, like a kitchen
That's for a
cooking
soul.
set.
I don't know that would hold anyway. What?
Like a camping set, like a little pot for one that you make on like a burner in the woods. There's a little
Mhm.
metal one like that, that has some of the yellow stuff. It looks like there's like a couple drops, like it either cooked out of it or they put it into something else, but it did hold it successfully. All of the other things look like they blew up from the inside out.
Out of you mentioned that there was a machine that was hooked up to everything.
Yep.
I have a homeland ability called Gearheart.
Okay.
By taking an action, you can inspect a machine to learn something useful about the last person who interacted with the machine or what they did with it.
Like an echo. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, right?
That's really cool.
This is exactly why I took it.
The last person who touched that machine was the scientist by the whiteboard. And he was thrilled and nervous as hell.
What did he do? Can you tell what he did with it? Was that one of the things you
Yeah,
just said?
did he do any actions on the machine?
Oh, I see. I didn't know how far Gearhart went. Yes. He threw the big red lever on the side of the machine. Big
Wrong
like
lever,
not like a
Kronk.
light switch, but like a big red, like it's alive kind of lever,
Is it
right?
still in the on position?
Oh yeah. Like,
And we
In
maybe
the off position.
Turn
Can
it
we
off?
can we inspect the machine to try and figure out what the buttons do before we pull the lever?
sure.
Fun.
It is right, fun. Just push the button.
No.
Like,
everybody heard me say reset button, right?
Or see if they
wrong
left
lever.
any
Why do we
kind
even
of
have that lever?
instructions behind on how to
Definitely
use
didn't
this thing.
rewatch that movie this week, not even a little bit.
Would those of you who want to figure out what's going on with this machine make a engineering roll to see if you can't figure out all the buttons? It's not like they're labeled.
Oh,
Cool.
sure. I
I
actually
have
will make
nothing
an
in that,
roll.
so I'm not gonna do that. But good
What
luck,
are
guys.
you gonna do?
I think
Actually, have
Tanamichi.
great engineering. So
Oh, I did not do well.
Oh,
How
I got
badly
2
is bad?
3s and 2 4s.
Nice, 2 successes.
A
Cool.
5, 3 3s, and a 1.
Wait, did you say 2 5s and 2 3s?
Nope.
Heather?
What?
2
Oh, yeah.
4s and 2 3s.
Yeah, okay, yeah, the 2 successes. Stormy, what did you get? Sorry.
A 5, 3 3s, and a 1.
Oof.
So a -1.
So you got nothing, right?
I got
Um,
absolute nothing.
I had
First
2
roll of the game.
successes.
You bet. Hoshi and Molly together have 4 successes. Kai, do you want to get involved on this? You're a fellow engineer, yeah?
yes. 66143. So
Wow.
So 6
Hell
and
yeah.
4.
so 3
So
total.
3 total.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So that's 2 and 2 and that's 4 and 3 is what, 7?
Yeah.
7. Yeah.
So between the 3 of you, you pour over the machine, and you're like, oh yeah, it's drawing a absurd amount of thermal power from somewhere, probably in the planet. We're talking like a quarter of the energy in the sun
And putting it where?
into
In
that pot
the
over
boot.
there.
Great. Can we pull the lever and turn it off? Is that a safe thing that we have determined we can do?
Yes, you can throw the lever and it will turn off, but it'll wick off its own heat slowly over probably the next couple of days.
That's
Oh.
still better than nothing.
True.
That is it. It's fixed.
And they're in a containment field, which means they're not impacted by it,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's how that works, right?
Stormy, I don't want to sell you short on the Gearhart thing. Read that to me again.
Yeah. By taking an action, you can
Yeah.
inspect a machine to learn something useful about the last person who interacted with the machine or what they did with it.
Okay. I suppose then the question is, did you feel like you got something out of that?
Not a bit. No.
Okay. Then let's see. He threw the lever. He was excited and nervous. But I suppose his last memory, other than his last vibe, but his last actual memory, the thing he was excited about and nervous about, is that he was hoping that this was going to be his like the last time, because it didn't work the last bunch of times, that they were going to create synthetic shadow scar.
That was a technique and not a Miko, right?
That is a homeland ability.
It's
That is
built right
n-
in.
That is none of the above.
Oh, okay. never
Right.
mind.
It's
All
a
right,
part
so
of him.
you
It's a
said-
bloodline skill.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. So this guy was hoping he would create synthetic shadow scar, the thing that's infecting everything.
Not he, they. They're a team.
Okay.
Yeah,
the
it
team
doesn't
voice.
matter. The person whose thought 4 is reliving.
Right. Yes, correct. Super hyped and super nervous to create synthetic shadow scar. Not nervous because he's making synthetic shadow scar, but nervous that it wasn't going to work. And he was going to have to
Mhm.
explain, he was going to have to convince the investors again to give them more money again with nothing to show for it.
Well, it worked, and I think all
It's
of you guys
bad.
hear Hoshi just go, "It's a good thing he's already dead."
What you might be considering there is what you might be looking for there is any degree of like moral concern. You're not going to find any of that in the memory. Like,
That's why I took the skill.
is that better? Is that what you were looking for?
Yeah, that's about it.
In the hazmat suit, Molly is taking as many of those metal test tubes as she can and filling them all about 3/4 of the way full.
With the yellow stuff in the pot.
With the synthetic shadow.
I want to preface this by saying, for the remainder of this mission, I'm going to stay as far away from you as I humanly can.
So
Well,
I know
just-
what.
just
Unholy
so
hand
then-
grenades?
Just so then I can preface what Molly is thinking is she wants to try introducing that matter to different types of organic matter, like with potions, to see how the Shadow Scar interacts with different potions she's made.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a plague, a custom plague. Like,
Mhm,
I-
mhm.
She's not trying to use it for biological warfare or anything.
Doesn't
No,
matter.
not at all.
But you
She's
could.
right, says every scientist whose technology was ever used to harm
Kai-
somebody
Kai, who
biologically
was it again
ever.
that you had a contingency
Yeah.
plan for?
I didn't
was it?
actually mean to do this,
The
but
person that I trusted least at that moment, and that is changing.
Yeah.
I hadn't planned on like
Can we
being
not create
responsible
another
for the
trick,
atomic
Sanjay?
bomb, but here we are. like,
Yeah, let's not create another sentient semi-god
Mhm,
organic
Yeah.
life form.
What?
Different
That's-
game.
Different
That's-
game.
yeah.
Different
Mhm.
game.
Uh-huh.
Same DM, same
There's
GM.
Also
A-
yellow powder-like substances that
a story
travels
for
around the
another
world too.
time.
Yeah.
like, Rena, I know what everyone else is doing. What are you doing during this time?
I'm just watching it all unfold at this point.
You bet.
That's a great face, Kai.
yeah.
That's a great
Tanamichi's
face.
kind of just like
This is both mad and disappointed.
In
Tell me,
Rena
what are
or
you
just
up
in
to?
general?
Thinking Molly right now.
Ah,
mhm, mhm.
So-
yeah, Rena's just kind of wanting to take a step back and look and like be there to like have the bag ready for whatever Molly wants to put in.
Kai
I-
reminds me of a character from an old video game. Yeah, a scientist is traveling with his royalty brother to go investigate a thing that made a bunch of people sick. And the scientist brother is like, "Oh, I can't wait to get it back to the lab and study it." And the politician, his brother, the king, is like, "I'm here to look after my people, right? You're the nerd, that's your problem. But I'm here like to show support and do my job." And their traveling bodyguard is like, "You're both crazy. I say you find something that makes you that kind of sick, you bury it and leave it the hell alone." Like,
mhm.
So,
Kill it with fire.
burn it with fire. All right.
yeah, Molly's thought process is the fact that if this is synthetic, it might not have interact with the same cures as like the regular one does. Like there might be a fail safe in it.
It
So
is
she's thinking
weird
if-
that all these people turn to stone because the Shadow Scar
Yeah.
plague affects everybody differently. So it's
Differently.
weird.
Exactly.
It's
So
not
she's-
impossible that
Mhm.
6 different people were affected the same
Do they
way at the
happen
same
to have
time.
all turned calcified stone?
Oh yeah, they look exactly
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah, great. Cool, cool,
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah, so
Molly,
she-
you do have permission to carefully
Dissect your foot.
investigate my foot later.
Yeah, so
Carefully.
So she wants to potentially come up with like a cure, like look into the synthetics of it, compare it
Oh.
to the original Shadow Scar, and see if there's any.
Should we
Weirdness
take a
is
piece of the
different.
people?
She's
might-
just gonna cut off one toe.
That's
I might have a
it.
chisel in
That's
my
one.
bag.
No,
I
mean,
she's
I
gonna
know
do
what
that.
you
I like
mean.
Rena's idea. You have all of these people in here. Take one of them.
Bro, I'm gonna take
Yeah,
a piece of these people. I know what you
Yes.
mean,
Yep.
but what a way to say it. Like to take a chip off the old block.
My suggestion is you take the
God.
same, like the same hand or the same foot from each of them,
Exactly.
Mhm.
so that you can compare the different people reactions.
I'm
And
gonna
it's
take
the
that
same
guy's
body
pinky and
part,
that
so it's
guy's
not, oh,
pinky.
the elbow reacts different than a toe.
And there's
Mhm.
plenty
But
of
then you
bags
don't
around here.
take my body parts, please. I'm still using them.
Are you?
Yes, I'm walking.
And
Oh.
In here.
better not. Nope.
It's
I'm
never
more like
walking,
a
yeah.
kind of a stiff after boom boom is sort of a hobble maneuver. But sure, if you want to use the walking, I guess we can use that word liberally.
No, I am gonna say yes, I am walking, because even people with limps who walk stiffly are still walking.
It's true.
So after you eat, you might want to give it a little bit more than an hour before you go swimming.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
that,
out of jokes. That's the last one I had.
So I don't have your address yet, right? I have something I want to send you. You mind sending that over to me?
um,
I have a
So-
present. Don't worry, it's nice and
For-
safe.
Don't worry, no one knows where I
For
live.
I think you might have gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Ooh,
Nice.
And Heather has left the
Winner!
screen.
Winner. Ah.
Of course, it had to be
Done.
Mike.
So while
Mhm.
Hoshi may or may not hear, oh, good, you're back. Before we wrap this up, as Mike basks in the glory, like,
I do feel the need to tell everybody the number of bad foot puns that have been in our Discord chat. It's not just the couple that you've heard out loud.
I'm so
These are-
looking forward
I know
to that.
you guys. I'm talking to the people that might, for some reason, decide to watch this.
Mhm.
They are missing the litany of the more original puns, so then you guys just get the dregs. But I've been getting hit by all of them.
Nice.
We love you.
I don't know that you do right now.
That is.
We
that
love
is good.
you. Your character, on the other
Look,
hand.
it's important. You should trust your friends. They're one step ahead. You know what I mean?
You guys are doing this to me, the real person. To Hoshi and Gabe. It'll still be
I don't know about you guys, but I think this is totally uncalled for.
Oh.
Okay. Oof.
I was gonna go for that one, but it's too low. It's like a foot on the floor. It's
If this keeps going, one of y'all or all of y'all are gonna be walking funny.
oh.
Hey, you made it too.
Hey. Welcome to the party.
Yeah, but it was also a threat. Don't worry.
Fine.
It's
I'll toe
set
the
out of
line
love.
for you. Fine.
Ken, is it?
So
I know I can leave at any time.
right. You know,
Can we
we
turn
would
this
do
thing
this
off?
less, but you're such a shoe-in for a target. So while you're busy fussing over this and everything, you hear a bunch of what I'm going to describe as carnival giggling out the window. And I'll
I was
see you
gonna
next
say,
time.
is that something that Tanamichi's just hearing?
Oh no, everybody. Except
good.
your tooth key thing will go, oh crap,
Yeah.
and then stop talking.